Hey, welcome back to the channel. I want to ask you a quick question before we dive into today's topic. What haunts a person the most? Is it the things they said, or is it the things they didn't say? You'd be surprised by the answer. It's not the words they never heard, but the silence they never expected. Imagine someone you loved walking away from you. They think you'll always be there, right? They think no matter how many times they push you away, you'll keep fighting for them. They think their love for you is guaranteed, like a safety net that will always catch them when they fall. But what if that's not the case? What if your silence is the most powerful thing you can give them? And here's the kicker. What if it's breaking them in ways they'll never admit? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why your silence might be the most devastating thing you can offer. Before we go deeper, hit that like button if you've ever felt like your silence spoke louder than any words could. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now let's get into it. The unexpected impact of silence. Okay, think about this. When someone walks away, they're expecting you to fight. They expect you to beg, to chase them down, to prove just how much you care. But then you don't. You give them silence. At first, they might think, okay, this is just a phase, they're playing hard to get. But as days pass and then weeks, something strange starts happening inside of them. They realize they've been left alone with something they can't control. And that thing, it's their own reflection. Why? Because silence forces them to face the one thing they've been avoiding, the truth. The truth that maybe, just maybe, they weren't the victim in this situation. Maybe they were the ones being tolerated. And maybe, just maybe, the person who would have loved them forever is no longer waiting for them. Let that sink in. It's not the anger or the pain that gets to them, it's the doubt. Doubt is like a poison that creeps into the mind, slow and painful. It makes them question everything they thought they knew about you, about themselves. They start looking at your social media, rereading old texts, replaying memories in their mind, trying to figure out if they ever really knew you at all. They wanted you to chase them, but here's the truth. When you go silent, you're not chasing them, you're replacing them. You're not playing mind games, you're not seeking revenge. No, you're giving them exactly what they gave you, nothing. Now think about that. What could be more powerful than silence? You don't need to say a word, you don't need to explain anything. Silence speaks louder than anything else could. Segment 2, why silence hurts more than words. Alright, let's break down why silence hits harder than words ever could. See, words can be twisted, blocked out, even ignored. But silence? Silence is the one language the human mind can't escape. When they expect anger, long explanations, and emotional outbursts from you, they get nothing. That's when their ego starts to shatter. You stop feeding their ego and you start starving it. Silence makes them question everything about you, about themselves. They thought your silence was a sign of weakness. But deep down, they start realizing that the person who was once begging for them is now gone, and they're left with nothing but their own regret. So here's the kicker. The longer your silence stretches, the more power you hold. At first, they might convince themselves that you're just playing a game. But the longer the silence drags on, the more their minds begin to fill in the blanks. What if they're really done? What if they're moving on without me? What if they're with someone better? Those thoughts? They eat away at them, slowly but surely. And here's where it gets interesting. They do it to themselves. They're trapped inside their own minds, creating the worst-case scenario, and they have no one to blame but themselves. That's the power of silence. It's not what you say or don't say, it's what they make of it. Segment 3. The hidden stages they go through. Now let's talk about the stages they go through when you choose silence. This isn't something they notice all at once. It hits them slowly, breaking them down step by step. Stage 1, relief. At first, they feel a sense of relief. They think, okay, this is just a phase. They'll reach out soon. I've seen this before. They'll come crawling back. Their ego tells them it's only a matter of time before you apologize and beg for another chance. But then something happens. Time goes on, and that message never comes. Stage 2, curiosity. They start checking your social media. They look for signs that you're still hurting, still longing for them. Maybe you'll post something sad, something that shows you miss them. But when they see nothing, that's when the real fear sets in. What if they've really moved on? And that fear only deepens with every passing day. Stage 3, frustration. They might start posting things that they know will trigger you. Indirect messages, old pictures, whatever they think will make you react. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to engage, it drives them insane. They thought they held the power, but now it's clear, you're the one in control. Stage 4, fear. This is when it hits them. You're not playing games, you're not waiting around for them, you're moving on, and they're terrified. Terrified that someone else is stepping into the space they left behind. The more time that passes, the more their mind spirals. The truth hurts. They lost something they'll never get back. Stage 5, regret. Regret is the final stage. Every memory they took for granted starts replaying like a movie in their mind. The times you forgave them, fought for them, cried for them, all those moments hit harder when you're no longer there to remind them. And the worst part? They'll never admit it out loud. Their pride won't allow it. But deep inside, they'll be breaking. Segment 4, how silence reprograms their mind. Your silence doesn't just hurt them. It reprograms the way they see you. They thought you were someone who would always chase after them, someone they could lose and get back whenever they wanted. But now that version of you is gone. Every day you remain silent, their perception of you crumbles. They thought they were the prize, but now they're realizing you're the one who was worth chasing. Your silence is making them question, did they ever really matter to you at all? The truth is, you're no longer the person who needs their validation. You're becoming the person they always feared you could be. Segment 5, how to make your silence even stronger. Let's talk about how to make your silence even more powerful. The hardest part isn't starting to be silent, it's staying silent. Your heart might scream to explain, to get closure, to prove a point. But the moment you break your silence, you lose all the power you've been holding. Silence is powerful not just because of what you're not saying, but because of who you're becoming while you stay silent. This is your time to rebuild, to rediscover the version of you that existed before they convinced you that you weren't enough. Every time you choose self-discipline over self-pity, you're silently telling them, I'm not coming back. And every time you heal, you're proving that their absence is no longer your weakness. It's your opportunity. If you're ready to turn your silence into power, hit that subscribe button and let's take this journey together. Remember, your silence isn't about hurting them, it's about healing you. It's time to show them the person you're becoming while they watch from the sidelines. Drop a comment below and affirm it with me. My silence is my power. Because that's the truth, my friend. You hold all the power. And once you realize that, they'll never be able to take it from you. Remember this, silence isn't punishment. It's protection. Every second you hold your silence, you're breaking the cycle of proving your worth to someone who never truly saw it. Let them wonder, let them regret, let them feel your absence. Because your silence, it's the loudest message you'll ever send. So choose yourself and let them deal with the consequences of their actions. And before you go, hit that like button if this resonated with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that helps you grow and evolve. Thanks for watching, and remember, your silence is your power.